Hey, what's up, guys? I am Flo Frazier,
Hey, and I'm Sonya Fee.
and this is the Frazier House Podcast, season 2.
Two.
Yeah. Happy New Year to you guys, first off. This is our first episode in like 3 months, man. It's March now.
A month or two.
It's something like that, right? Who's counting, right? Who's keeping up with
right?
that?
I know you guys missed us.
Yeah.
We're back with some
We
great
miss
content.
you guys as well, you know what I mean? Like, we've missed doing this and having this back and forth and this good interaction with you guys. So here we are, and we're back with it, and this is season 2. It's been I don't know, has it been a crazy year or has it been a good year so far? Let's start with that.
For the year that we've had last year, I
Yeah.
think we're doing okay.
Mhm.
I mean, there's still a lot of drama and there's still a lot of reforming
Right.
that needs to take place. You know, there's still a lot of injustices taking place, but I think we're getting acclimated with the curveball and the life that was thrown to us last year.
Yeah.
And some of us are coping okay. Some of us are still struggling with work and kind of,
Out of work, actually.
out of work.
For the ones that are working, congrats. Keep it up. For the ones that aren't working and trying to get back into the field, keep the grind up, keep pushing, keep going. You know what I
Some
mean?
of us are also like still trying to recover lost businesses and finding
man.
alternate means of income.
Yeah.
And we're kind of seeing our endurance and resilience from such, a blow of 2020.
Right. But we're strong. We're gonna get through this. This is light work. Well, not light work, but we're gonna handle it. We're gonna get there. But before we keep going, let's get into the topics like we usually do, man. Let's get into some fun stuff. I know you guys want to hear some fun stuff, man. We've been down enough from last year. Let's get into some cool stuff, all right? First topic, as always, we're going to get into some music topics. What do you got for us, Sonya Fee? Where we at with it?
So, last month we watched the Grammys.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a little bit of, was it last month? Actually,
yeah, absolutely.
That was the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl. The Grammys was a few days ago, actually.
Because today is March 16th.
No, today is March.
What's today's date?
19th.
Today's the 18th.
Oh, well, yeah, sure, whatever. Who cares?
Who's counting?
Right.
Really?
Here we go. But yeah, okay. Yeah, we saw the
we saw the Super Bowl last.
We saw the Super Bowl last month.
It was interesting. It actually showed how the rest of the world, the industry, the entertainment business, and the sports industry is adapting to COVID.
Oh yeah.
What did we see in the audience?
I mean, cardboards of babies,
audience, okay,
babies and whoever,
and the baby and little baby and celebrity cardboard cutouts,
right? Which is which is strange because this is the thing I noticed watching the Super Bowl, right?
What was that?
While they were playing and they were doing things, you still heard crowds cheering. So
they had the full studio.
It's like they had the whole, setup and everything, the whole
Mm-hmm.
production of like the audience creating the energy for the players, because that's really what that's for.
Right.
Well, not even for the players, creating the energy for us. The players aren't hearing anything on that field.
Yeah.
Especially this year with the cardboard people and stuff.
Right.
But it was an interesting.
And they were also 6 feet apart.
6 feet apart, right? With cardboards in between them.
In between.
But it was an interesting take on such of a big event. It's like one of the most important events, that we
All
have
American type sport
year round. So I'm wondering, how long will they continue that? When are they going to start to just go back to a little bit of normalcy, where things are going to get like, hey, you know what? I can sit next to this guy right here.
Right.
When is that
with or without
come?
a mask.
With or without a mask. When is that going to come? But that was an interesting experience to see. The Weeknd did a good job on his performance there.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. He did a really good job.
Full on
Shout out to him. Full on concert. Shout out to him. That was really good. I mean, even we were just getting ready to discuss the Grammys.
Yeah.
Which was another good event. I feel like it was the similar type of atmosphere. I don't think
so more people. Well, for
were people there? Like
Super Bowl, people were actually there. Cardi B, Offset, a few celebrities did attend.
Okay,
but again, it was spaced out. They had their own section, and then they were, of course, divided by some of the cardboard audiences.
Gotcha. So people were seated in the audience? There were an actual audience at this award ceremony?
Definitely at the award ceremony, at both the Super Bowl and the Grammys. However, the Grammys took place in a more formal outdoor setting where celebrities had their own tables and they were 6 feet or more apart from other audience, attendees. And, big names like Beyonce, Jay-Z attended, Megan Thee Stallion, Taylor Swift. A lot of people still showed their presence at the Grammys, but it was still under COVID restrictions.
Now, let me ask you this. How did you feel about the Grammys? Did you watch it?
I mean, tried watching it. Kind of, bored me a little for some reason because of the adapting and the change. It's not like the full experience that we're used to traditionally with the full audience and the crowd and engaging with, whoever's performing on stage. And even Trevor Noah.
Yeah, he hosted the Grammys.
He did great hosting it. But, it's just not the same. So
yeah, the energy that we're used to when we're looking at award shows like that, it wasn't there. You know what I mean? Like I watched bits and pieces of it on social media. I didn't watch it live. I just saw the aftermath of who won and who lost and back, whatever. And I'm saying whatever to say that there were a lot of mixed type of things going on. First you have Beyonce winning the most Grammys as a female artist like ever.
Yeah, and that was an accomplishment. Even on top of her having her own reservations with performing at the Grammys,
which is weird.
A lot of people feel like the Grammys are snubbing great artists of some of their awards.
This is my thing about the snubbing part, and these people that feel this way. It's only a problem when they're losing, but if they're winning, everything is okay. And that's the thing with people. Nobody wants to lose, right? Everybody want to win all the time. They can't lose. Nobody else should have the glory. They should take it all the time.
I think that people who feel snubbed advocate for themselves. So when you see numbers and charts of, album sales doing great numbers and charting for weeks at a time in a row, and they're not getting any acknowledgement, especially the bigger names, their team and management is going to completely advocate for them, then I think that, it kind of does bring a question to why. Whoever's comfortable with losing probably won't say anything.
Yeah, I don't think it's about being. I'm not saying that.
Or at least being a nominee, because to be a Grammy nominated
it's good
still
as well.
Just as amazing,
right? But so fun.
Snubbed is being like actually, losing.
The funniest thing, well, it's funny to me at least. All of these artists, like from the last 10, 20 years, that haven't received a Grammy, bitch, cry, complain, do all of these things. Nas has been rapping since like 1993, and he just won his first Grammy, and I've never heard that man bitch, moan, or complain about winning or losing. Never really say nothing about it. He won his Grammy, you say thank you, and he keep going. So do you think
he warranted okay, so two things. I think that I do remember Missy Elliott being in a position where she wasn't understanding why she wasn't being acknowledged for her creativity, her production, and then people did pay a closer mind or were more keen to why this woman isn't getting awarded. And then that opened the floodgates of acknowledging Missy Elliott as one of the greats. Whether you want to call that bitching or screaming or crying about it,
it's crying.
I think that the artistry, and you should know this too because of the pride and the integrity that you put into your work. I think there's a competitive yet an integrity and a competitive spirit that goes into competing with your peers and putting out projects, that amazing chart selling projects that are not getting acknowledged.
I think that's bullshit. You know why I believe that's bullshit? Because an artist who is selling records, who's having filled tours where tickets are sold out in record numbers, what more do you want? Your fans are receiving your music. They love you. They're coming to support you. They're buying your merch. They support anything you do. But somehow these 20 or 30 people sitting behind a desk deciding to give you a bullshit gold-plated trophy matters.
So yes, it
Fuck
does.
your fans.
It's
just
disrespectful.
No,
it's disrespectful.
How are you
especially
allowing them to validate what you mean when your fans already showing you what you mean to them?
It's not about just about them validating. It's about fairness, and it's about people getting credited for their work. Okay,
but life isn't fair.
So listen. Let's just hear me out. What I'm saying is at the end of the day, first of all, there's the matter of race. There's the question of whether or not the Grammys are being racist. So that's a lot of the reason why big artists, big names are boycotting the Grammys, either by not performing and only attending, or by not attending at all, like The Weeknd. So I want to also address that it's not only about racism, but then it's also about fairness. If the numbers sell, the numbers show, the performances show, the support, all of that, the body of work is being presented and it's being completely dismissed. It's a matter of why. Just like everything in life, you have to be renowned, acknowledged, certified, or considered the best by meeting a certain measurement of criteria. So all the sports games, they go to the Super Bowl if they're the best and they're able to compete against each other, and so somebody's granted the winner, by the end of the Super Bowl. Am I not right? Or by the Super Bowl tournament.
Right.
The basketball, there's someone that takes the championship. So there is a respect. Again, as an artist, I think that you would, you can't imagine putting in work all year, selling the charts, topping the charts, and an industry, or I guess a platform like the Grammys, and the same retrospect to movie actors with the Emmys and the Oscars, not giving the respect and the awarded attention to the person who did the best performance. It's a little bit questionable.
Artists are unappreciative. Period. You know why? Because they value a gold-plated trophy more than they value that actual numbers that the fans put up from them.
So I don't think that they're not disregarding their fans.
They do.
I think their fans are also in support of them, backing them. That yes, you snubbed all of us of this opportunity to be acknowledged for being the best. It's not a matter of otherwise. Then maybe the solution in your eyes should be, let's create an award system that is fair and submit their music to an award platform because you cannot take away the fact that people are not only doing music for their artistry and for their brand and for their integrity and for their passion. They also enjoy being acknowledged for either being the best and submitting their music to be evaluated by people all over the world or the nation, and they want to rank either as the best. That's the reason why the best is the best.
Those rankings are unreal. Then first of all, they're not real, right? Those rankings come from people, 30 to 50 people, or how many people are deciding. A bunch of people sitting in a round table in a room, going through artists and say, you know what? Who do you like? You like her or her?
Okay, so you think it's a popularity contest versus numbers?
They don't care about numbers. The Grammy isn't decided on numbers.
I think it's also...
It has nothing to do with that.
Doesn't the Grammys have at least People's Choice, and they have, actual numbers and charts and who votes? Who's the people? Who's on the panel?
Whoever those people are, the people in that room vote. They don't care about no numbers. They don't care about no sales.
So it's whoever their favorites are.
Whoever they want to win. So the fact that
the reason why artists, they're not ungrateful. They have the choice.
The fact that
ungrateful for the 30 people that you're giving all the credit to that make the decision.
The fact that an artist would work 6-7 months in a studio to record an album, spend hundreds of thousands in budgets and doing videos and so on and so forth. They put out their records, the albums go platinum, they stream well, they go on tour, they get money, they sell merch, they get money, they fans support them, fight to them to the death. And those same artists got all of that love I just spoke about. They crumble because some people in a fucking boardroom say, I'm gonna give this to Taylor Swift instead of giving this to Beyonce, and their whole lives are destroyed and done. I'm not. No, that's the dumbest shit in the world.
So I definitely don't think that they're destroyed or distraught. They feel again snubbed. They feel that there's some form of injustice.
That's greed. That is nothing but greed.
There's some form of injustice, and again, just like any evaluation, just like any other industry, like it's kind of hard to mention sports because it's measurable. It's either you won or you didn't. You competed against your opponent and you either won or scored a certain amount or you didn't. But I think that the same thing goes for music. The same thing goes for employee of the month. Is either you're the best or you're not. People have integrity. People put in integrity and put in I don't even want to just say a competitive spirit. It's more than that. It's the acknowledgement. People are not only just putting out work not only just for the love of it, although that should be the main reason and the core. And I also don't think that they're upset and disregarding. They're actually advocating for their fans. The fans are advocating for them that, hey, why are you not acknowledging this artist who's done the work, is consistent, has the numbers to back them up, and you're giving it to an artist who is more favorable in which community? So there's a line that it crosses in terms of racism and then also just popularity, and that's the problem. People are advocating.
It has nothing to do with racism. If the Grammy had anything to do with racism, Beyonce would not be the female artist with the most Grammys, and she's black.
She's the most nominated.
She has the most. She has the most
Grammys, right?
And she's black. So racism, kick it out the window. It means nothing here. This is the problem. People who are winning are complaining about winning. This is all this is. These celebrities and these artists are winning. They're winning. No, hold on. They're winning in life. They're doing well. They're touring. They have the finances from the work they have done. You just won. You literally just won. You put out an album that goes platinum. You do a tour that sells out. You do merch. You sell merch that sells millions. You just won, and they still find a way to bitch and moan.
That's unfortunate. I mean, I really don't. I think you're taking it a little too extreme in terms of bitching and moaning. Again, it's like I don't know what other platform you want people to. I mean, do you not support an award show? Because that's what it is. It's an award show.
I don't care about an award show.
Okay, so that's probably what it is. That's why I can understand your tone. You don't care about an award show, while these celebrities actually do. Do you feel like not only are they complaining about not winning and just being nominated, who are they stealing the victory from?
What victory? They've already won.
So then you shouldn't even subscribe. You probably just don't appreciate or even understand the purpose of an award show, especially when it has to do with music. Or what about the entertainment industry? What about movies?
It's the same difference. They've already won. You've already won. You've already bear the fruits of that labor.
What's wrong with being acknowledged in terms of, okay, there are people who actually who are masters and professionals and specialize in certain genres, let's just say of movies. You have 3 scary movies of the year, and all 3 of those producers are presenting their artwork to be evaluated by fans. I think that, don't get me wrong, I do believe that there is a little bit of a there's a little bit of importance or pressure put on just these 30 people, even though I don't know how many people are on the panel.
Those people on pressure
voting.
They make the decisions, and that's that. They don't care.
I think it should be a national vote. I think that a lot of the fans and the viewers or movie critics or people who are appointed to really have criticism or just a fan favorite, there should be more of a understanding of who's actually putting these nominations in. Again, artists are submitting their work into these platforms, and I think I'm just surprised. You as an artist, you're a rapper yourself. At one point, whether it's your label, your management, you as an independent artist, you're going to want to, first of all, have the ability to present your music, but then you're gonna want to say that, you know what, I've competed with the best of the best. Let me just kind of branch off and give another example. What about gaming? What about video games? People all over the world, whether it's chess, which is not video game, but whether it's Mortal Kombat, or whatever, Final Fantasy, people gather all around the world to compete against the best person.
That's a different type of result. That is
it can be measured.
It can't be measured.
It can be measured.
It's either
you won or you didn't.
Period.
I get it.
There's nothing more than that. We can see it clear as day. If two people are playing Mortal Kombat, the guy on the right killed the guy on the left, he won. End of story.
Yes, and I do think there's like levels. So then they're competing like in citywide.
Doesn't matter
against others in their city. Then it's statewide. Then it's national wide.
But it doesn't matter though. Whatever level it is, whoever won the fight won the fight. There's no. So
then whoever won Best Artist of the Year won Best Artist of the Year.
It's over. That's what it is.
That's
because
what
this
they're
is the thing.
advocating for.
I remember one year there was going on with this Grammy stuff.
I love it.
It's cool. I remember one year, I believe Beck won over either he won over Kanye and Jay-Z, or it might have been Beyonce again, and it was an outrage about how can this guy Beck beat Beyonce, and then the people that understand music came and said because Beck played the instruments, mixed the music,
do you see what I'm saying?
Sing on the song, and did all the work.
There you go.
Himself.
There you go. So I don't think there's an argument. I think what we're doing is maybe I'm internalizing the words you're using by questioning why an artist shouldn't question why they won, because you're describing it in the forms of bitching and complaining.
It is
being a brat, rather than really taking their artistry seriously and wondering why, if there are numbers to back up their performance, why did they get snubbed? I don't feel like, honestly, for the sake of arguing and for the sake of just not wanting to look like a douche or not wanting to look like just a brat, no one's coming out who has the right to saying, oh, why did this other person win, when they have the numbers to back it up. It's almost like, this reminds me, just again, another note that's coming to my mind. This reminds me of like Jacquees, when he was like, oh, I'm the king of R&B. Like, right. What? Do you know who else is like currently still killing the game, crushing it?
Sure.
Chris Brown. So, please let us, entertain us, enlighten us why you think you're the best. But I think that the people who are complaining that they're the best and they're being snubbed are people who are really being snubbed.
They're self-centered, egotistical, and they believe they believe who they believe. They believe what they believe about themselves, and they believe everyone else should believe that about them. But that's not the case. That's why you lose sometimes.
I get where you're coming from to an extent, but we don't right now, for the sake of the segment, we don't have numbers to back it up right now. I think that if I ever mention Beyonce, a lot of people would say that woman is right now the best entertainer and is a triple, quadruple threat in any category. But
and I always say
there's some fairness that I do think that needs to take place. That's like almost, watching another sport, wrestling or boxing. What is Mayweather? Mayweather is a wrestler.
You cannot compare physical result based stuff to emotions and stuff, right? I'm saying this to say, two boxers going to a ring, someone is going to lose.
But it's almost like,
someone
why
got
am I
hit
paying
more
for a
than the other
pay-per-view when I know all the time Floyd Mayweather is going to win. He's going to win. He's going to win, no matter how much the referee sees that, maybe the points are a little bit, should be on the other person's favor. Is always Floyd Mayweather. Like, I'm not gonna complain because we know Floyd Mayweather is the best, and I don't think that if he lost unjustly or unfairly, he should be wrong or made out to be bitching and crying and screaming because he lost, like when he evidently won.
I want the audience to do this if you guys can.
We need numbers.
Go back prior to 1990 if you guys can, name an artist that bitch and complain about losing any awards. Jax, Michael, Prince, any of those artists back in the days. Bobby Womack, Tina Turner, so on and so forth. Go find any one of them that you've seen bitch and complain about losing an award, and put it in the comments and let me know, because I, off the top of my head, from what I know, don't know of any.
This is the world. Like, we're now in the era of social media. Granted, those
Bitching
artists
and complaining.
Let's hold off on the bitching, because really, who's really complaining? If you really think about it, I think Prince would say in a minute, like, all those people that you just mentioned got their awards. They got their flowers. They got their recognition.
They did not win every time.
And they didn't have to win every time. They just won when they were supposed to win. Again, right now we're talking freely. So if we had like the names, the artists, the albums, and who their other fellow nominees were, then, you know, we would be able to have a stronger conversation, because right now this is just, of course, our opinion and perspective. This is opinion based, and you think that they're complaining, while I think that they're advocating for their hard work.
It doesn't matter. Fair. And this is the thing about these self-centered people. It don't matter what you think or feel. You don't decide. When someone is deciding where things go,
they have an impact, though.
It doesn't matter.
Just what like Missy. Think. Missy, you want to call Missy, who is one of the greatest producers, the greatest creatives in music.
According to who?
To us. I want to appoint her as, I mean, look at her artwork. We can go back and forth. And that's the beauty of this too. It's all opinion based. But when you look at the money that's invested, the artistry, the production, the actual visuals, the greatest dancers to create a look, the greatest designers in costumes and effects, and Hype Williams. We're not mentioning just a name just because. Like, these people have proven, they put in the work, the days, the hours, the history, and the time to be appointed the best. We're not going to just disregard that these people are, again, renowned for a reason. And if they are not the best, they're the most hardworking and consistent to where they've been able to earn their crown, earn their recognition. So
is the other artists going against them.
So that's what I'm saying. That at the end of the day, I don't think... That's why I'm saying let's hold off on the bitching and complaining, because I don't feel like they're doing it loud or obnoxiously enough or self-centered enough to where they're disrespecting and disregarding the other nominees, like Kanye West did to Taylor Swift and Beyonce. That's different, because now you're actually taking a stance while someone's receiving their award and saying you don't deserve this. I don't think that's the statement. I think that, again, when you're snubbed of something, the definition means that you're actually rightfully supposed to win, and someone's taking that opportunity away from you with no other reason.
Why do people think they're popularity? They're supposed to. Like,
we'll continue this conversation.
Yeah. we agree to disagree.
Because honestly, numbers to me is what matters most. Numbers don't lie.
But the Grammys, that's the thing I keep telling people. The Grammys is not voted based on numbers.
So then you do admit that it is a popularity contest. And a popularity contest, nothing is really,
whoever's
fair.
In that room, they vote. It's 30 people. If 14 vote Taylor Swift, 15 vote or 16 vote Beyonce, guess who's winning? Beyonce. And the one that over there that voted 15, if you just raise his hand just because you just wanted to be on this side over here, guess what? She win. It doesn't matter.
So if this is the case, because I really don't know the logistics of what happens behind the scenes with these award shows, if that's the case, then of course everyone has the right to be upset if there's no constructive guidelines to who wins.
But they know this.
Okay, so then at the end of the day...
So what are they upset about if they already know?
It's called advocacy. It's called speaking up, having a voice, and then seeing change later down the road.
Crybabies, man.
I don't think so.
But, all right. Y'all tell me what y'all think, man. about these celebrities complaining about these awards who clearly, whatever.
We're
They
not
already made the
complaining.
money. They're already rich and successful,
Doesn't
and they're
matter.
complaining about a
People,
trophy.
it's almost like
Please.
Drake. It's like no, at the end of the day, he's a great rapper. There's people who care about the Hall of Fame. There's people. Oh, that's another renowned platform. People care about the Hall of Fame, the Rock of Fame, or Hall of Records.
The Rock Hall of Fame.
Rock Hall of Fame. People care about being the best. It's not enough to just be liked and popular and sell numbers. People want to actually now compete against, like you yourself. You're a good rapper. You want to be able to say, you know what? If I enter myself into this genre of similar rappers, that my flow actually is better than his. I creatively have the skill and have the gift to be able to put music and art together in this way where it's a little bit more profound and skilled and talented than the next person. That's what honestly, I feel like that's what most industries are about. Whether it's nursing, whether it's a lawyer, you want the best lawyer. You don't want just a C+ lawyer. You want an A+ lawyer representing you. So it's all friendly competition to me.
Yeah, it's listen, man.
And if a lawyer is winning 10 cases, he's not bitching and complaining.
How big
when he wants to receive his flowers?
How big is my check, sir? That's what this shit is about.
I'm just surprised. Again,
how big is my check?
This man has a lot more integrity when it comes to recognition and knowing what you're talking about and citing what's a fact, and numbers back up facts.
This isn't about numbers. I keep saying it. The Grammys is not based on numbers. They don't care about that.
And they want these artists want them to start caring. And
they will not. This is my organization. Why do I have to care and follow what you want? You are coming to me.
Okay, but then just the same way they're coming to the Grammys, the fans are even who allow the Grammys to
The Grammys
stand.
Don't care about the fans.
Without the
they
artists,
mean nothing to the Grammys.
Let these artists continue to boycott the Grammys, and we'll see how long or what leg a Grammy is going to stand on.
It will never go anywhere. It will always be prestige because it's being held and controlled by the most powerful.
Which
isn't going anywhere.
Is it white supremacy?
No, it has nothing to do. It's race.
That's the question, though. That's one of the questions.
It is controlled by the powers that be.
It's controlled by the powers, yes. The people who are
powers. It's not
most
just one
powerful.
Person. Yes.
Also, those people of power also seem to relate and have a certain skin tone in common.
So why does Beyonce have the most awards?
Again, if there's a category where she felt like she was being snubbed, then
if they are what you say they are,
Team Beyonce all the way.
Why does she has the most awards ever?
Because she's the best and continues to be the best.
So it's not race, is it?
But if they feel like they're giving a new artist a chance to give them just for the sake of giving them a chance, that's not how that works. It's the best.
Is it race or is it not race?
Best song of the year for a reason. Best artist of the year. Shouldn't be about race.
It is not.
And it shouldn't be about giving just anyone a chance just to share the glory if the glory is given all to the best.
You know.
But moving right along.
Optional. The best is what whoever feel is the best, right? I can sit here today and say,
we should open up our own award
Freddie
platform.
Gibbs is the best rapper of all time. If that's what I believe, who's gonna prove me wrong? Nobody.
But you're not.
You can never do that.
But you can definitely have your own mind. And
so continue those people voting.
And continue to say that this person is the best. But when you share a panel where, like you said, 14 to 13, the scoreboard is 14 to 15, where other 15 people don't agree with you, then, you start to have a variety of perspective, and it's not just a one-sided. Otherwise, why have an award show? Why have nominees? Why have competitions with other artists? Just say, here, you are the best artist.
They're awarding the people that are voting are awarding the people that room of people, whoever they believe deserves it is who gets it. It ain't what the public that's like you owning a business and Joe Schmo up the corner coming into your business and saying, hey, that vanilla ice cream you serving, it actually should be green. It should be green though. And then you say, you know what? You're right. I'm gonna make it green because you said so.
No, what I
this
think
is my business.
What I think business
Buy
owners
it
are
or go
doing
somewhere else.
will they'll actually take the suggestion of their fan or fans and make a fan favorite ice cream.
Name a business
but they're not going to sit here
that has done that.
They may not. So many.
Like,
I mean, even in our own town, there's places that endorse other, like for example, schools and colleges, and name certain dishes on their menu after whatever surrounding landmark that's in the area. You know, so
Wendy's removes spicy nuggets from the menu when Wendy's feel like removing it.
Listen, we're not saying that people who own things don't have control over their platforms. I just think that if you're gonna, talk about equality, which this is the culture that we're in right now. If you're gonna talk about real judgment of sportsmanship, whether it's in music or whatever else, there should be some understanding of how they're being judged. Life. Otherwise, it's not called bitching and complaining. It's called having ownership of your own music and then just not wanting to submit anymore when it's not done fairly, like The Weeknd did. So this is not like gonna be an ongoing thing. The people who are the best of the best are not gonna sit here and compete with the Grammys. They're gonna show them that at the end of the day, the fans are gonna wonder why these people are not either presenting, submitting, and it's actually bringing views to the Grammys. And just like most platforms, I don't care how big industrial they are, they too are susceptible to somehow lose ratings or be something that's 5-10 years from now not even heard of.
Let me ask you this,
because they don't have the support to back them.
Eminem also boycott the Grammys this year, right?
Eminem also chose to not be
listen Eminem
not to put out music.
He boycotted the Grammys. He didn't win. Eminem, I don't even think his music was there. Eminem did release music last year, right? Eminem is also one with lots of Grammys. But because Eminem wasn't a part of it, or he lost, he's gonna boycott it. These people, man, are self-centered. If they're not winning, fuck the whole thing. That's how they feel. And that's not the way life works. Life does not revolve around them.
So they're sore losers.
Yes, nothing but whiners, crybabies.
I don't agree.
Okay, well, listen.
I think that
what do y'all think?
These are people who are in the year. I'm sorry, one last thing. This is one last comment I have about people who want to remove themselves. These are not nobodies removing themselves because, again, people who are not necessarily as renowned or haven't put in the years probably are not leaving as much of a dent or concern or even raising a brow if they decide to step back. Now, staying true to who you are and advocating for what's right, whether you've reached a certain level of success or not, is a beautiful thing if you can stay true to yourself. But I just think that people know their value and they're not going to settle by just allowing even a platform like the Grammys to rob them of their awards, period. And that's all I have to say about that.
Why is it only right when they're winning?
No, because they're the best.
Okay.
All right. Well, they believe that.
Listen, man. Y'all let us know. Put it in the comments. Are artists crying and complaining about the Grammys? Or are they just for saying and behaving the way they, they boycott when they feel like it. They come back when they feel like it. Let us know what you guys think about that. But a little bit more about music. What's going on with your streaming service? Your music page, your Instagram music page. How is that going?
So yes, as you guys know, or I would love if you haven't, or if you're not already, follow my streaming page, Sonia Fee Streaming.
Right.
I'm still featuring music that comes out recently or in the past with Take Me Back Tuesdays. Right. I still want to feature music that is nostalgic to us, but then it's also either trending or is a bop right now. And I just love music, and it's just a way for me to share some of my favorites and your favorites on my page. So please feel free to follow, subscribe, and DM me any features or songs that you want to see featured on my page as well.
And we'll add the streaming service in the description below, or we might pop it up in the video over there somewhere. But you'll see. Let's get into some conspiracy, because we like hearing about the crazy things that's going on.
Yes.
What's going on with the COVID vaccine? You taking it?
Am I taking the vaccination?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to ask me that.
Of course. This is the Honest Network. We tell the truth.
Of course. No, we can be transparent. We're nothing but transparent on this platform. I'm a nurse, and I am administering the COVID vaccination,
right?
The Pfizer vaccine. It's a 2-step vaccination, and you come in to get your first dose. We educate you on, signs and symptoms, side effects, or adverse reactions that may result from taking the first or second dose. Then 3 weeks later, you come back and you take your second dose for the Pfizer vaccination. For the Moderna vaccine, it's a 4-week interval. It's a 4-week gap. So take your first dose, then you return and come back 4 weeks later and take the second dose. Now, the Johnson & Johnson vaccination has recently been released, and it's now just a 1-dose vaccine. So there's so many different thoughts and, questions, concerns about this vaccination. I'm a big advocate of just trying to narrate to others that if you can, do most things holistically. By any means, this is no suggestion to go against your doctor or any prescriptions or medical advice that your doctor is giving you. So if he's telling you take your medication, by all means, please take your medication. However, if there's a way that we can boost or strengthen our own immune systems naturally, then that's something that I'm all for, because you're not altering any parts of your immune system, your DNA, to accommodate these worldly environmental attacks. So am I taking the COVID vaccination? That's my business.
No.
Am I advocating and suggesting that others take their vaccination? It is case by case. It is according to what your beliefs are, the research that you have had up on the vaccine. And we're also trained and asked to have a full interview and have a full understanding of each client that we're giving the vaccination to present to us what their medical history and their chart is and what their demographics are.
I mean,
to take this vaccine.
I mean, what I think a lot of people want to know, are people dying from the vaccines?
People are not dying from the vaccination.
All right,
no.
so that's I think that's like that's the first thing, like, I think the general public want to know. If I take this shot, am I gonna die?
People are definitely not dying from the vaccination, and especially not as far as we know. It's only been administered or being given to the public now for a good 4 months. This is March, and they've already started administering the vaccination since December of 2020.
Right.
However, I honestly think that some medications do need some time before there is any long-term effects.
Right.
So
mesothelioma. We all saw that commercial.
So there are some apprehensions. However, I really do suggest and encourage people to educate themselves on, the vaccination and make the decision according to what's best for you. Okay. And, it is a step for us to kind of return back to some form of normalcy in the United States and worldwide. However, I think that we've been through so much trauma and so much, just a lot last year. We've been through so much last year that I can understand why people are reluctant for whatever the government is, encouraging us to do, because we've been misled. We haven't really been taken good care of. And, it's interesting that right after Joe Biden was elected and, put into office, that now there's a rush on the vaccinations. I hope that is to help us than hurt us, but it is still a little bit iffy, and it puts me as a professional healthcare provider in a tough place. I really can't fully understand the agenda. I wouldn't know. I'm not making the vaccinations.
Listen, that's what I believe. You want to go out and party. You want to enjoy your life. You want to get back to making money. Take that damn vaccine, man. That's gonna make sure you probably ain't gonna catch it no more. You don't have to worry about catching it. Just go get the shot.
Do you not go back and forth? Or is this a sarcastic?
I'm getting the shot. I'm getting my shot. I'm going to Johnson & Johnson. Beep, beep. Come on, baby. I'm ready to go.
It's actually just one beep.
Beep. Yeah. Right. So that's what I'm doing. You know why? Because listen, if 20 years down the line, there's a commercial
if you live
on cable
long enough
that says if you took the COVID vaccine 20 years ago and you're suffering, and I happen to be suffering, I am suing Johnson & Johnson.
Or Frazier.
All right? So,
or Moderna.
Come on. Right here. Give it to me. Yo, what are you guys doing?
So you would rather take a risk on your own life?
Yeah.
Just for some compensation?
Yeah. Compensation. Or I just want to be free again. Right? Because we're prisoners right now. Right?
Are we really? Because that goes into our next segment about how we were able to travel to Florida.
But
and wear masks and be able to adhere to the COVID restrictions,
right,
and understand how, even though we're collectively experiencing COVID and we have experienced COVID as a nation, as a worldwide pandemic, we also can see where different environments can accommodate to everyday living.
No, everyday living is not living with a mask over your face, stifling your breathing. That is not everyday living, and that is definitely causing problems.
The vaccination, just so that everyone understands, the vaccination is not so that we can now no longer wear the mask. We're still required to wear the mask because people are still carriers. Not everyone has gotten the vaccination.
Right.
Not everyone is immune. So I don't think even getting the vaccination, I'm so curious. I would love a year from now to be able to say we are no longer forced to wear the mask anymore. But I'm so interested. I think that even if a national announcement came out from the president himself and he said we no longer have to wear the mask, you're free to congregate and meet up in public areas by the masses, and not wash your hands as much, which is gross. Always still wash your hands. No one should have to tell you that.
No one washes their hands anymore.
Yikes, now we do.
Which
Thank
one of
God
y'all
I
wash
do.
your
As a
hands?
nurse, number one rule to spreading germs is not washing hands. So we advocate washing hands all the time.
Every bathroom I go in, men pee and walk out.
That's gross and disgusting.
Wash their hands.
That's nasty.
Man. Take the shot.
I'm so happy that I met so many men from all ages now more conscious of their own health, and they are practicing just the smallest things like washing their hands and carrying hand sanitizer. So thank God, there has been enough of a scare to be able to respect that.
Now, momentarily.
But yeah, like I said, I'm interested to see.
Look at Florida right now.
What it's going to look like a year from now. Are we going to be wearing these masks or not? Are people still going to be mindful of what happened? I think 2020 will be a part of our conversations for the rest of our lives. And I think we're going to continue to still wear the mask.
Pain and suffering is fleeting. When things are going bad, as soon as they get better, no one remembers the pain. So as soon as people can go outside and have fun again, no one would care. This stuff is going to go away. Trust me. This is how the American population works. Pain today, party tomorrow. Bottom line. But anyways.
I mean, yeah, I really have to somewhat agree with that, because look at Atlanta, look at Texas and Florida now. We've been to Florida and we've seen there's certain... I mean, they still adhered and wore their masks.
Right.
We went to, where did we go? The national park?
Our Orlando Studios.
Okay.
I mean, everyone's masked up everywhere you go. You have to keep your mask on anywhere you go. My thing is, I'm sure you all experience what it feels like wearing a mask all day. That breathing, that stifling of your lungs fighting
even
to
at the
breathe.
Gym.
Through these masks, right?
Having
you
to
don't
wear
think
a
that's
mask,
doing something to us? Of course it is.
It's not proper gas exchange,
No.
so we're not able to breathe out carbon dioxide and breathe in oxygen properly.
So,
it's
listen,
taxing just to breathe.
Take them vaccines, man. Let's take these masks off and get back to life. Okay, that's what I believe. But let's keep it straight in the same vein of COVID, right? This stimulus check What do you think about this stimulus check? The stimmies.
It's long overdue, and I think it should be given a lot more frequently than just once a year.
every month, huh? I mean, well, all right.
Rent is every month. Nothing else is stopped.
This $1 trillion bill that they signed in the COVID money is the stimulus check is out. People are receiving their checks, whatever, right? I also heard. Don't quote me on it. I might be missing the months and stuff. But like June or July, people with children will be receiving about like $300 for each child until December. And we check the government websites for the specifics. I'm just overviewing, right? So they're rolling out a lot of help for parents, people without jobs. Unemployment has been extended until like I believe September or something like that. So they're doing what they can to help. I mean, everyone believes they can do more, but listen,
go Biden.
We got what we got.
Do you think this has a lot to do with Joe Biden being president?
Sure. I feel like he's here
to help.
Outside of him just being here to help, someone had to do something. It just fell on him. Right? Because if Trump was still here, he would have had to have done something. Maybe not as much as that's being done, maybe more. We'll never know, right? Because he's out of here. But someone had to do something. It came to that pivotal time where it's like, oh shit, what are we doing? This is going really bad right now. Something has to be done, and I'm happy for what's happening. That stimulus check is a plus. Good job. You know what I mean? I hope people do what they need to do with it to help themselves to keep surviving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that was a plus in my eyes. That was a plus.
Yeah, it was definitely a plus. Money will always be a plus, especially if it's in addition to whatever income that we have bringing in now. But,
right.
I really just feel very bad for those who've lost their businesses or have multiple mouths to feed. I just don't understand how people are surviving with just, financial assistance once every 6 or 7 months or whatever the government feels like. So I hope there's definitely a turnaround economically and, the impact that COVID has had on us.
Men, I don't know what y'all gonna do. Women, start a OnlyFans, get your money. OnlyFans is paying big time. Okay.
And they're starting their own channels on
YouTube,
stock market,
and all this.
How to flip their money, not only showing ass and
whatever.
Titties.
Right now, this is a time to run your own business. Do whatever it is you want to do on your terms.
Sure.
Take advantage of this time, and it's a lot of money going around.
It is.
Forget about all the jobs that's being lost. They're gone. They're not coming back. This is not the first time jobs went away forever. It happens all the time. We just have to adjust to what's happening now.
We have to learn how to
figure
bounce
out
back.
What's next? There are millions of YouTubers making millions. Twitch people, millions. OnlyFans people, millions. Instagram, there's so much money flowing around on this here internet. Find your lane, grind on it. Hey, that's why we're here.
Real estate is thriving too.
We found our lane and we're doing this.
Whatever your niche is.
Right.
I'm grateful as a nurse and a healthcare provider. I'm able to give back, some form of care and support to COVID. So whatever your niche is, definitely explore it and capitalize on it, because there are, there's different disaster relief programs and funds that are being aided.
Oh yeah.
But it's still this is still a worldwide devastation.
Yeah, it's
people
not
are
just
still
us.
trying to bounce back.
It's not just us, and that's the thing. These things happen. Don't forget. Things like this, tragedies like this, that's affecting the world. It happens all the time. Maybe it's the first
one every 100 years.
Our lifetime, right? Not even less than 100 years. It's happening in our lifetime, but it happens all the time. But you know what the people that was experiencing the last situation like this did? They got over it. They figure out how to get past the shit and did what they had to do to continue living. That's probably why half of us are here. We're their children, or our parents are the children of those people who survived. It's our time to survive. So figure out what you're going to do and survive. That's all you have to do.
You heard it from him.
You know what I mean?
You heard it first.
But let's get into some fun stuff. That was like a downer. Ooh, plane crash, right?
Not a plane crash. This is important. Like, I really want to know. Please, you guys, drop a comment. We want to hear from you how you've been surviving and coping with 2021 so far,
Right.
and please drop some suggestions too with how you've been, hustling and putting, other projects together so you can bring in other streams of income.
Right.
Because we are resilient and we're going to get through this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So. There's no laying down and dying. That's not what Americans do.
Absolutely not. And I'm happy as a people that some of us can have the luxury to still find a light in everything that's happening and try to find a way to kind of bond and unite and, still continue to look forward to better days. So one day at a time, we're getting there.
Keep working, stay up. That's all. But okay, let's get into the fun stuff. Okay. Man.
Me,
Debbie down there and killing us with the COVID.
I have some questions for you.
Okay.
All right. And I want us to explore some of these fun questions that we have. Okay.
What do you got for me, man?
Let's get into it. I want to know who's taught you your swag? Media, the streets, or your dad?
Yo, Pops, you don't got no swag, boy. Them baggy jeans is out of style, boy.
Oh my gosh. Have you ever seen any young pictures of your dad?
Yeah, man, that boy don't got no swag, man. Get out of here.
What was he? Was it all about his money?
Yeah. Back in, those guys weren't swagging like that. Where he came from.
So who taught you your swaggy apparel and your look and your whole vibe?
I think I got it from rappers initially. Yeah, I think that's where it started because growing up in Brooklyn, I'm a music lover, so I've always leaned towards musician. And if you think about it, anytime you look at a music video, you're always looking to see what they're wearing, what they're driving, and the women they're with, right? Because it gives you an idea of, okay, when you look at an artist, you think about success. That in your eyes, that person is successful, right? And then you look at the things that success brings, because that's what they're showing you. They're showing you, I'm the man. I got this girl. I got that girl too. I got this Lambo. I got the jewels on my neck. That big house behind me is mine. So
that's the motive.
That's where that type of influence. This is how it. This is like, what it looks like, right? So that's why artists are the biggest promoters of all time. They're walking promotion. Artists put on academics jeans or Jabot jeans when the Hot Boys. I think. They were wearing like Jabot, Juvenile, with the straps, and Jabot was like a big brand back then, right?
And make it a trend,
and everybody's Jay-Z with the fitteds and Fab with the fitteds and the jerseys, So that's where I can say that's where it started initially. That's where it started, from looking at those things and seeing but then you also like how it looked too. It isn't just about the success aspect. Well, if you're like me, I have to like what I'm seeing.
Like, for example, jerseys, right? There was some relation or some type of love for.
Well, I like how they look, because then a lot of jerseys you were able to match with your sneakers and match with the hats for the team. So when you break it down to culture, to that type of aspect and the culture at the time, that's what pushed me into those directions as far as fashion goes. So yeah.
So what's the answer? Media or the streets?
Media.
A combination of the
both. Because
artists
are portrayed to us through media. So it would have to be media. What about you?
What about me?
Yeah.
Media, the streets, or my dad,
your daddy,
or my mom. Well, my dad. I think my answer is a combination of all three. Believe it or not.
How so?
My dad, he had swag. The man, he dressed up, dressed down. Still always carried a certain confidence and smoothness to his look. So as a woman, as a girl, that's noted, and I can kind of see how he carried himself. But my mom, she was great too. She loved dressing up. Going to church on Sundays was one of those moments to showcase your style. So it was something that following in my mom's footsteps, I was, looking forward to doing. And then I go into the community of church and we see other little girls or, just people in general, the congregation dressing in their best dress.
Right.
I went to a private school, so even though we all wore uniform, we still found a way to kind of, express ourselves through our uniforms, whether it's our handbag or little accessories. Like, fashion for me has always been incorporated in all areas of my life, and it kind of formed my swag. It kind of formed my vision and how I carried myself. But then media too. I feel like in the world of BT and MTV and media and all these different platforms, or even just the Disney Channel, like, it all influenced how, we dressed and how we would run to our parents and say, oh, I want these bell-bottom jeans with the rhinestones. Like, I feel like there was influence all over, and you kind of, as a child, adolescent, and even as an adult, you gravitated towards what you liked the best, how you wanted to dress.
Okay. What about you guys?
What about you guys?
Where do you get your swag from? Like, what influenced you to dress the way you dress, look the way you look, and ultimately like the things you like? So what was your next question? You said you had 3, so let's get to number 2.
Number 2. In the future, maybe not right now, it's not something you're considering now, but in the future, what is the minimum a woman can make to date you?
The minimum?
And also a part 2 to that question would be, would you be intimidated if she made more than you? So first answer the first part.
I think the minimum a woman should make in 2021.
Dating you.
It's got to be.
What you find acceptable.
The minimum is 50,000. I think is
a year.
The minimum. Yeah.
Anything less than that would mean what?
I think what I've understood about finances
and income
and money. It's a very important thing. Money is not just about the ability to be able to buy shit and spend and blah blah blah. It's a responsibility that people that have money have to have, right? It goes back to the credit conversation, right? People think good credit is just like someone who pays their bills. No, it's a level of financial literacy that person has, and they're able to manage and maintain. Money. So I think $50,000. If someone can maintain $50,000 and disperse it in the right areas, then ideally, if I'm looking for a woman to settle down with and be a wife, I need to know that she understands the importance of money, how to fraction it off here, there, and there, and allocate it to where it needs to go. I don't think anybody making below $50,000 is gonna properly do that. I don't think so. I could be wrong. Who knows?
Yeah, but that's case by case. I guess it matters on whatever their responsibilities are.
Yeah, I think
and
once you get
the type of livelihood they want to live.
Once you get into those type of margins when it comes to money, you have to be a little bit more
frugal or just financially literate.
Financially literate, more savvy with your spending, because 50 is not a lot.
It's not,
but it's enough for you to say, okay, I have enough to pay the bills that I have, but now I have a little bit more extra on the side. What do I do with it? Right? So when you're faced with those options, or you come to that realization like, oh, this is where I'm at, and you're able to move it around properly, I think a man would look at a woman like that like, okay, cool. Because now I know if I give her 100,000 to manage, I don't have to worry about her not knowing what to do with it, because I see she's already doing it with the 50 that she has. So that's I think 50 is a good number for
average class, middle class.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's middle class numbers, right?
It makes me think about the stimulus check. Like, I can't really understand, especially like with a time like now where, the government is not helping or assisting as much as they could or as frequently as they could. It makes me question why. I mean, I don't want to question anybody else's bag or their own income, but it makes me, wonder how anyone could really be so excited with getting $1,400, because by the time it's allocated into bills, rent, everyday cost of living over the course of a month, I don't think it's enough.
There's a difference between getting money that you work for and getting money just free money because it came to you, right? The appreciation, obviously, for money that you work for is a lot more, but there's work involved in that. But if money just falling in your account, why wouldn't you be happy about that? Right?
Of course. Oh, no, yeah. So, it's just the a matter of why and how
it's free money.
There's a lot of trending, ideas that, we're gonna just take this and go shopping and travel and maybe that's what people who are still working through the pandemic can do with that money to look forward.
That's like, for example, if you paid your bills today and your account is. Now you have $20 in your account. You woke up tomorrow morning and it's $20,000 in your account.
Oh, well, 20,000 versus 1,400.
Even if it's 1,400 in your account, you only had 10 yesterday. It's 1,400 now. That money is gonna make you feel good because guess what? I was down and out yesterday. No opportunities yesterday. Today I have opportunities. Now I can do something. Yesterday you couldn't do nothing until you got paid again. Now I have opportunity to do something.
So it's the symbolism of opportunity versus all the different things they're going to do to distract themselves. Because that's kind of how I was looking at it. Like, it's nothing. Of course, I'm happily taking my stimulus and putting it away and allocating it where I see fit. But I'm just, questioning the responsibility, of... but that's obviously case by case.
It is. I believe it's the opportunity of having the money. What you do with it is your business, but it's the opportunity that's creating the excitement in people.
And then the weight too. The weight of how long a lot of people have been waiting for this assistance.
The weight is,
some people really lost their jobs.
It's a part of it, but like I said, it's the opportunity. I have this now. I have $1,400 today. There's some people on the street that you give them $500, they know how to make it $10,000 in a month, definitely. Right? So the opportunity. But if there's no $1,400 coming to your account, now you have to think harder to. Okay, I have to figure out how to make the money because the money is the opportunity. But the first half of that step is already done with this $1,400 for people, for some people, right? The work of creating the money that's going to bring the opportunity, it's already there. So the money's in your account, boom. What are you going to do with it? And that's where it's case to case. What they do with it, that's their business. You know what I mean? I don't care. But let me ask you this though, I don't want to veer off too much. What does a man? Same question you asked me. How much money does a man have to make?
For what?
The same question you asked me.
Okay.
For you, vice versa.
Okay. How much does a man have to make in order to date me or for me to, I guess, use it as a measurement to judge? Because that's really what this question means.
Right.
To judge, I guess, how responsible they are and how much ability they have or the ability they have to allocate and move their money around. I would say for a man, 60 to 70,000.
Okay.
Especially because men are paid more, so then therefore there should be more opportunities to reinvest the money that they're making. Alongside what you said, it really does, unfortunately, but fortunately for other reasons, gives people an understanding of, or gives me the understanding of how they're able to provide for themselves.
Right.
Because men really take pride, not only men, women too, but you take pride in providing. So how are you doing that if you're not able to make ends meet or live comfortably? It just becomes a domino effect and intervenes with other areas in your life and like your mental health. You know, if you're stressed out about where your, you know, next paycheck is going to come from or where your other monies is going to come from, it influences your mental health, your physical health, and it snowballs into an overall stress factor when you don't have the resources to provide.
Right.
So I think $70,000, $80,000 is a good starting point. And I know that it's not obviously accessible for everyone, you know, or for a lot of people working. But I think that the more money people make, sure, the more responsibility, but the less stress, if managed properly, a person can alleviate themselves from.
Okay.
And Uncle Sam is not taking all their, you know, money and their taxes from their income and their paycheck.
But they're taking more, actually.
They're taking a little bit more, but depending again on how they manage their money, they can still see how those funds are allocated in different areas. So it's all about time and financial money management.
Management
important.
is very important.
Yeah.
Now, what was your third question? Do you remember?
Yeah.
What do you
Third
got for me?
question is this is in honor of your birthday on Valentine's Day, about the love languages. You know, out of the 5 love languages, I'll name them: acts of service, quality time, physical touch, words of affirmation, and gift giving.
Yeah.
What is your love language?
Acts of service.
Acts of service.
Yes.
Explain why.
Yeah, I think I'm a action based person. I don't believe anything anyone tells me ever. Right? I be in touch. I don't even like being touched much. You see that?
Or is that an uncomfortable smile?
But right. But for me, action is louder than words. I like people who do things, right? And that's what works for me. You know, that's the thing that make me bring my guards down. If somebody showing improving, right? Like I said, people can say anything. You know, they're people that talk a good one for a long time.
Gift of gab is
right, and they'll talk, and you get caught up in the talks, right? There are people that will hug you to death. Just let me hug you so you can forget about what
distract you.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. The only thing that is valid, that is concrete, is what that person is doing. You know what I mean?
Are they showing up on time? Are they, presenting themselves in a way where it's consistent with how they speak? Are those things in harmony? I can understand that.
Are the things you're saying matching the way what you're doing?
You're acting.
So, you know, I lean towards that because I always say, me personally, my heart doesn't control the things I do. My mind do. I don't care what I feel. Always go back to, once I feel something, I sit back and think like, okay, pros and cons. That's the first thing. Pros and cons. Once I feel it, what are the pros and cons of these feelings, right? And I remove the ones that don't matter, and just go with the one that logically makes sense to me. You know.
So just for us to kind of get back on track and gear towards your answer of acts of service, give me 1 or 2 examples of acts of service.
I need a woman who cooks. I need a woman who cleans. I need a woman that's agreeable and listens. Take directions.
Is that acts of service?
Yes.
Well, that's absolutely. More taking direction.
Because those are action-based things.
But service would be more, for the sake of the 5 love languages, an act of service would be running out and picking up your dry cleaning.
That's listening. Right?
Okay. Yeah, but definitely, like, you know, acts of service are more like errands or either errands or they're like processes that the other person is doing solely for you.
Cooking is an act of service. Cleaning.
It's an act of service.
listening to directions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you to do. I'm asking you to do something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're all action based things.
Yeah, definitely show and
right.
prove.
So that's what I mean.
All right, good, very good.
Now, let me ask you the same question.
Really?
What is
what my 5 love languages?
Yes. Which is the most important to you?
What did I say they were again? Do you
Acts
remember?
of service.
Right.
Touch. Words of affirmation.
Quality time.
Is that one?
Yes.
Quality time. And there was one more. What was the last one?
Gifts.
Gift giving. Right. There you
go. So I agree with you, actually. Acts of service. As much as I initially would want to, I used to compete with that answer and say, no, acts of service is not important to me because I can pretty much do anything that I need for myself. I'm kind of like self-sufficient. I can kind of, for the most part, rely on myself to kind of complete any task or any assistance that I might need help with, or it wouldn't be assistance if we needed help, but I feel like I can, provide one way or another, a way to make a way,
right.
But acts of service is great because again, it's a way for a person to show and prove. But in terms of, to tap into the emotional side of me, words of affirmation is very powerful.
Which one is it?
Out of the two, what's the most important?
You
you don't only get one, but we're asking you two in the audience, what's your favorite? I mean, you can have all 5 actually, but my favorite one would be, honestly, I'll go with words of affirmation. Because even though people can talk a good one, we are very critical and visual human beings. So if you do hear enough times that you're great, you're doing a good job, keep up the good work, that somewhat settles in your subconscious and actually starts to emulate and come out in your actions. It's very uplifting depending on who you are. You know what I mean? Like words of affirmation for me are great. You want to hear positive reinforcement from those around you and the people that you respect. You respect their opinion, you respect their perspective. We're human beings, we're not here alone. So it's always great to get good positive reinforcement rather than negative, criticism from other people, and right. No matter what, no matter how strong you are, you want to hear again, positive reinforcement. You don't want to be enabled when you're doing something wrong. You want to be able to take good, positive, constructive criticism and, be able to take the correction from others if they're trying to steer you in the right direction. But when you are doing good, it's always great to hear positive reinforcement, especially when we live in a world that's so negative and it's, it can get tough. It's always great to have support, especially from a loved one. So we would love for you guys to drop in the comments, what's your favorite
love language?
Love language. What is it?
Words of affirmation.
Quality
time.
Physical touch. Acts of service. I
always miss the last one.
Gift giving.
You like the Birkin bags and the Gucci belts, or do you want somebody cheering you on? Let us know which works for you guys, please.
And also let us know. Share. We didn't drop a February schedule because we was out here living our best lives for our birthdays. Okay, enjoying the Super Bowl and the inauguration and all of the great things that happened in February, including Black History Month.
Right.
But tell us, what were you doing last month in the month of February? Right. What did you do for Valentine's Day, if you had one? Where'd you watch the Super Bowl?
Where you watch it, if you care. I remember we was boycotting it. I guess that's over. Huh?
Yeah, right?
So,
right?
Whatever. Like I said, here today, gone tomorrow.
Everything and everyone is so fleeting.
We don't care about much. That's the facts. We don't care about much.
What
we hate everybody. We hate Bush today. We love Bush tomorrow. He giving Michelle Obama candy. We like him now, right? So this is the American society. This is how we operate. Okay.
People are easily swayed and easily
so what's up? What y'all doing?
easily.
You getting the COVID or you not getting the COVID?
Yeah,
You know?
people are so easily
Not this
swayed, easily. There's a word I'm looking for, but they so easy to
controlled by the system that was created to control
Perfect.
us. All right. Let's get
Convinced.
into video game stuff. It's gonna be
Okay,
brief.
cool.
Like she said, we was living our best life, enjoying life.
Oh, you got to tell me what also happened with the PS5.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's true. All right. So the first thing I just want to say to you guys, I've been on the World Lord. I do my stream Monday, Wednesday, Fridays.
You
10
always catch me featuring in the back.
10 p.m. to 12, or come through, have some fun with me. What I've been doing, obviously PS5 hasn't been releasing a lot of new games. It's a lot of I've been playing a lot of old games right now. I'm streaming. I actually just finished a Final Fantasy VII remake. I'm waiting for the Yuffie DLC that's coming in June, I believe. But now I'm streaming God of War. I'm doing some Call of Duty with my boy. I got a nice squad. Come, we gun you down. Yes. Yeah, and that's what I'm working on right now. My question for the gamers tonight, though, is what game are you playing on PS5 or Xbox? Because these systems aren't really releasing any new games, really. I mean, there are some that are out there, but they're not the critically acclaimed ones that we're waiting for, right? But so what are you playing right now? What are you streaming right now? You know what I mean? Oh yeah, but like she mentioned earlier, so I had a quick story to tell, right? We already hour and 20 minutes into this. We don't go this long. It's usually an hour, right? But I'm gonna wrap it up real quick for you guys. We're having fun with you, so here we go. I went into GameStop to purchase a controller. My controller was acting retarded, so I needed a new one. So I go into GameStop and I'm at the controller wall. Just so you guys know, there are no PlayStation 4 controllers anywhere besides eBay.
Oh wow!
Straight up,
wow.
You couldn't go into any game store and buy one. Nowhere. I went to Target. I went to GameStop. I went to Walmart. I went to somewhere else, wherever that place was. They didn't have it.
It's almost like trying to buy a dated iPhone, right? They just no
almost
longer
like
carry
trying
it.
to buy anything these days,
Wow.
right? So I went into GameStop, went to the controller wall. He didn't have any. But this other guy walks into the GameStop with a box and he's like, "Hey man, I bought 2 PS5s online and they shipped me a third one. I don't want it." So me, Scooby-Doo ear, oh what? I went over there and I said, "Hey, can I buy this?" And he said, the guy that the store clerk was saying, "Okay, if I'm gonna attempt to return it, have him return it to me, and then I'll try to sell it to you." So the guy that was returning the system says, "Hey man, how about I just sell it to you?" So we went outside, we did the exchange, and I got me a second PlayStation 5, son. Wow. Yeah, pow, pow, pow. So that was like a shot in the dark. That stuff doesn't happen.
Ever happen. Wow.
Now let me show you the flip side.
Right place, right time.
Right place, right time. Right? Let me show you the flip side to this. This is why the internet is undefeated and it's dumb too. All right? I don't need 2 PS5s. I only need one. So I said, "Hey, I went on Facebook. I wrote the story of what happened."
You told me this.
And I said, "Hey, I'll sell this. I don't want no extra money. I'm going to sell it to you for what he sold it to me for." Right? I put it on Facebook. I put it in about 5 or 6 different gaming groups. And you know what everyone said? "I'm lying. I'm capping. He's full of shit. Who would be selling a PS5 for this amount of money?"
Yeah.
Right?
I'm over here taking up for them like, oh, they've probably been scammed.
They're jaded.
And jaded.
People online are jaded. They're jealous. And they're emotionally filled. And these are men. A lot of you men, so-called men, passed up on an opportunity to get something you've been crying and bitching for the last 6 months. And guess what? The system is already sold. Someone bought it. Out of all of the 800 people who commented and disliked it and all those things, only one person actually inquired, do you still have it?
Wow.
Out of all 800, one person said, hey, do you still have the system? And guess what? He got the system. So you clowns that don't have PS5, play that PlayStation 4 and blow the dust off it, loser. Anyways, that was my story.
And don't forget to shout out your new subscriber.
Oh, and I just got a new subscriber on my Twitch. Yo, shout out to you, my man. I love it. I love it. I was streaming and he came subscribe. Bang! I felt good. So come through, Underworld Lord, man. You know, I have fun up there. She's up there sometimes and we just vibing. Yep. But
support us, support our pages.
Support the pages, come through.
Underworld Lord. Subscribe.
Frazier House Podcast. Sonya Fee streaming on Twitter
Flo
Twitter.
Frazier.
Twitter? Instagram. Whoa. See, that's how long we haven't been doing this.
And that's how much we are going to continue to extend our brands.
Yeah, so we're working. So thank you guys for stopping in, rocking with us tonight.
We're going to keep this content going.
We're going to keep it flowing. You know what we do here.
You know how we are.
And we'll holler at you
on the next episode.
Peace.
Have a good night.
Good night.